Okay, so now we're going to work on our append method. And the append method is something like the push method on an array. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do, let's create a new node. And we'll pass the value that we're going to drop in append. Okay, as you can see, we want a value here. Cool. All right. So we have two scenarios. If there is no head, if there is a head, so AKA, move that to the side. If there is no head, meaning if there are no nodes, let's just go ahead and kill this all out. All right, if there's no head, then what? The new node just dot head equals new node, the one that we just created, and this dot tail is going to equal the new node. Okay, why would we do that? So if there is no head, then our new node that we create this is the new node. So since there is no head, here it is, right? Then this node would be the head, and it also be the tail. Does that make sense? Okay. So if there is no head, then the head is going to equal new node, and the tail is going to equal new node. Else, so if there is a node there, then let's say that this dot tail dot next is going to equal new node. So this let's actually come here. We'll call this existing node. Next is going to be null right now, right? But since that was already there, call this new node. So this dot tail dot next equals new node. This dot tail dot next equals new node. And then this dot tail equals new node. So this dot tail equals new node. All right, so let's look back at our code. because you have here a pointer to this dot head and this dot tail. So when you made this new node, basically now you're pointing this dot tail. Instead of pointing it here, you're now pointing it at a new node. Let's see if this works. So my list dot append, and let's just do actually, let's console.log my list first. Okay, head is null, tail is null, length is null. So let's do my list dot append, and let's say the number 10, and then console.log the list. Okay, cool. So now you see the head is the node with a value 10, and the tail is a node with a value 10. Okay, next is null because this is the only node here. Okay. So one thing that we forgot to do, length is still at 0, right? So let's make sure to say this dot length plus plus, or right here, this dot length plus plus. There you go. And now you can see we've got the node for the head and the tail, length of 1. Okay, so we're rocking with this because there was no head. So let's add another one and let's call it 20. Now that there is a head. Okay, awesome. So node, value 10, and then the next is value 20. The tail is one with value 20. So we're looking at something like this. The next going to the tail. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Right now we've got a node with 10 and one with 20. The one that's a tail is the one with value 20. The one that is head is value 10. Okay. And we can keep going. Tail is value 30. Length is 3. The first is 10. Next is 20. Next is 30. All right, I'll see you in the next one.